Make peace with yourself. The war outside exists because the war inside exists. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so today I'm just going to do a quick introduction for those who's not done this before. So what we'll be working with today is called Ngalso Tibetan Tantric Self-Healing Practice. And this has been passed down to me through a lineage in order to find a way of healing internally. So you learn how to, it's almost like you're learning the steps of how to heal. You're learning how to focus on the process of creating a space. And from the space, you're planting a little seed. So I know for a lot of people, when I work with them, they actually physically tell me it feels like you planted a seed in me. So it's like a seed is being planted. It's the essence of something that can become something else, but it has to be cultivated. It has to be grown. And this takes time, and this takes a lot of practice as well. But that seed has been planted, which means that it's a new understanding of life. It's a consciousness. It is a perspective. It is something that is beyond what you're currently experiencing in your life. So when we start, we first have to create a space in order to be able for that seed to take root, which means if there's no space, nothing can be planted because there's too much stuff already. So in order to create that space first so that the seed can be planted, so that something can start growing. And once it starts growing, this is the process we will go through today. It goes through different stages. So first you're creating that space, then you're planting the seed. And from the seed comes a symbol. So symbols are a very good way for us to understand something because it is not one thing. One symbol can have so many meanings and so much deep interpretation. Just looking, for instance, at a circle, the significance of a circle, the many meanings that you can give to a circle and your understanding of circle and the way that it makes you feel. It's this rounded, it's not sharp edges, it's very round, which means it feels more. And it's also like wholeness. It's also about completion. It's about continuity. It's about a space that is being created within a confinement, but it in itself is also complete. And what is outside is also inside. So a circle in itself is just so much. The depth is immense about symbols. So with each symbol we're working with also has deep significance. And as you do these practices more and more, the symbols will start having different meaning to you. The words will have different meaning. The seed syllables we're working with. So it's like a seed that's been planted. It's just a syllable. It's just a sound. It's one sound. But that sound in its understanding in your mind will grow. It will expand. It will have more meaning or less meaning, depending on what it is that you're going through. So sometimes we have to have more meaning until nothing has meaning anymore, because you've understood all the meaning, which means no meaning is necessary anymore. So it's also coming like full circle. So yes, many different concepts within one just simple explanation of this practice. So once we've gone through the symbol, then the symbol can arise into what is called like an identity, like an aspect of yourself. It is a part of your being that already exists that you've just not necessarily recognized yet. So by going through this process, you can see how that aspect of yourself is being formed and therefore how to nurture and support that so that it can stay alive. And the qualities that we are nurturing here, the identities that we are nurturing and growing and cultivating is the aspects of ourselves that is healing. So for each part of your body, so there's different chakras in the body. So in the tantric system, which we're working with, is a healing system. This is different to the Indian system, which has got many chakras. With this system, we only have 5 because we're working on the 5 main points that needs to heal in the body, which is specifically related to specific glands and everything else. But basically, there is the root, there is the navel, there is the heart, there is the throat, and there is the combination of the midbrain point and the crown on top of the head. And this is just called the crown. So basically, this just general area, but it's all encompassing this area here. So for each one of these specific chakras that we're working with, there is a specific identity being cultivated, like a specific consciousness, a specific aspect of yourself that is being awakened in order for that aspect of yourself to become alive so that it becomes aware so that you can heal. Because it is the ignorance that's causing disease. It is what we don't know that is causing us harm. If we don't know aspects of ourselves, then we can't also understand those aspects in other people outside of ourselves, which means that creates a sense of either criticism or judgment or blame or just almost want to say not understanding them, which creates a disconnection. So the more we find within ourselves the wholeness, all of the aspects of our being, we really come to understand and see and know all of those aspects. Because we know ourselves, we also have a comprehension of what is happening in other people, which means we have more compassion. We can be more kind and healing towards them as well, because we understand what they're going through. We may not be exactly in their situation, but we've gone through the essence of what they're dealing with. Say, for instance, an example, abuse. Abuse happens on so many different levels on a daily basis. We don't even know about the fact that we're abusing ourselves on a daily basis, but we do. Every time you're not listening to your body, when your body needs rest and you're not resting, that's abuse. When you're not hungry and you're eating, that's also abuse. When you are hungry and you're not eating, that's also abuse. So we abuse ourselves thousands of times in a daily basis. We're just not consciously aware of it. And if we're not consciously aware of what we're doing to ourselves on a daily basis that's causing harm, how can we ever understand what harm we're causing other people? So it's not about healing other people. It's not about working with other people. It's definitely not about saving the world. This is just about your inner healing journey and becoming more whole inside and becoming aware of those things that is causing your suffering, because we're all suffering because of what we don't know. So once we become aware of what it is that's creating our suffering, we can stop doing those things and not create suffering anymore. And so the more we become aware, the more we understand within ourselves, the more we heal, the more we learn how to balance things internally, which means we're more calm, more coherent, more balanced, more aligned, and therefore our interactions is also more harmonized because we're not catalyzing anything in somebody outside of us. Because remember, if you're on this side of the scale, somebody else needs to go to this side of the scale to balance you. So the more you're just in the center, you don't have to do anything. You just be you. And that's enough. And by you being you, that will catalyze the healing of those around you. Because if they're out of balance, they will come into balance because you're in balance. Not because you do something or say something to bring some form of reference in them. Just by you being you, that's enough. You don't have to do anything. You just be. So all of these different aspects of ourselves is basically awakening awareness within ourselves so that we can become what is called in this text like the Buddha. The Buddha is the awakened one. It is the one that sees all. But we all have that ability. We all have that innate nature of being able to see everything, but inside, not outside. We can never see everything outside, but we can know it inside. And because we know it inside, we can recognize it outside. And therefore, again, interconnecting more, which means we never feel separated. We are never separated, which means also we can have more loving kindness and compassion to others. Just by you being present is already enough to receive this healing. And obviously, the more times you come and join into this practice, the more you learn, the more you can also start joining in and the more comfortable you feel with all of the different parts of the healing practice. So within this healing practice, we will work with certain mudras, which is specific hand positions, We work with certain movements. So if you ever see this kind of thing or this kind of thing, this is clearing energy. So you're working with the energy and you do whatever feels natural. You don't have to do what I'm doing. So follow your own inner nature, but sometimes we will work on specific areas. So for instance, in the heart, you'll work with this general area. So you're not going to go here to work with the heart. So when we're working with the heart, we're specifically working with the heart, and you'll see that this is the area that we're being focused on. So there's the movements, then there's the breath. We will do specific types of breathing also throughout this practice. Then we're also working with specific sounds, like specific syllables, just one sound. That is called the seed syllable. And from there also specific mantras, which is a whole sequence of syllables, which is helping to program how we function internally with the frequency patterns. Then there's also working with specific colors that we're visualizing at specific places. There's specific symbols that we're visualizing. So there's a lot happening all in one go. So if you want to just focus on one thing, just focus on one thing, whatever you feel comfortable with, whether it's just the movements or just the sounds or just the colors or just the breathing, absolutely fine. You will still receive the benefits of the practice just by being present.